Hello, Cliff. Thank you so much for including this written rationale describing your experience with the campaign thus far. Good job. Thank you so much. This really tells me a lot about where you're at and tells me a lot about your plan methodology as well as your conceptual approach, etc. So this is great. Thank you so much. Okay, so what I would like to do is I want to take a look at the banner alongside the magazine ad. And thank you for including the magazine ad. I do want to address something in the magazine ad, the submission of the JPEG. See this right here looks like it's a stray element off the artboard itself. Um, so the JPEG has no choice but to pick that up and to use it in the presentation. It doesn't know that that's not part of the presentation. Typically what I'll do is I'll go on the side of my artboard and I'll just run a marquee select just to make sure that there's no stray elements out there. This one's visible. You probably just missed it because it's so far away from the original artboard, or the original ad. So just so you know, that's why this is saving the way it is. If you go back in to your file, select that and delete it, then resave the JPEG. You'll just get the actual page. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, how do I want to do this? Okay, we'll just look at it like this. It's a little bit too big for the window, but that's okay. We'll just look at it like that. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the banner ad itself. I think the banner looks good. Nice work. Really good restraint here in the banner. I think that's really important. And one of the reasons is because, you know, the banner text animation is just an embellishment. It's by no means something that you want to start making things blink and flash and twirl and everything in web and in banner animation. I mean, that's left over from the 90s. You remember that, right? Remember when everything was blinking and flashing and twirling and some even had sounds. I mean, it was a pretty obnoxious time, and I think one of the reasons why we went through that phenomenon is because it was all so new. Everybody wanted to try it. So those days are gone, thankfully, and now we're back to just really subtle, good, subtle design, like we see here. This is fantastic. Love the animation. The timing and cadence of the animation is outstanding. Really nice job there. Um, it's assembled beautifully, no question. I think this is really, really smart. What you've done here is you've kind of assembled the headline and placed the headline so that it's a direct eye shot of both of their eyes. That is a good strategic move. And let me describe why. Excuse me. As we look, anytime we look at a composition and there's a face in the composition, human or even dogs or animals, it's of course a lot more effective to use with faces, but it does work with animals. We can take the imaginary sight line, the invisible sight line. So right now her sight line is going right here, as is his. So to assemble the headline right where they're looking is a smart strategic move. Quite typically, the first thing the viewer is going to look at is this. And the second thing they're going to do is follow their site to see what they're looking at, right? And then we follow their site and it leads right to the headline subhead combination. That's good move right there. So great job. Everything else I think looks fantastic here. My only recommendation for the actual web banner is to include the geographic location. That is located in beautiful U.S. Virgin Islands or located in beautiful St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, something like. You don't have to include the entire contact information, just the geographic location, because that's a pertinent part of the client's branding, right? Um, okay, and then the magazine ad. I'll tell you something about the magazine ad. I think that you may consider this. You may consider taking this. Right now, there's enough visual weight on the right-hand side of the page. I would go ahead and left align this, set up a left margin, okay? Left align this, and just take this whole thing and left align it right there, okay? Then move this up a little. I would bring this down to one line, this book, Three Nights, this call to action, and use it as kind of a sub headline, right? So you have your headline, your subhead, and then you have book 3 nights, get one free. Then you start your body copy. So this would be a little bit smaller than it is, yet bigger than the body copy ad, and just as a first line there, set in a bold or in a little bit larger type size. maybe not quite as large as here because I'd like to see it fit right on one line right there. Then you can take this whole text block, move it up in the composition, and see if maybe you don't need that color box in the background. If you do, you do, right? My recommendation on that color box is this. Instead of assembling that color box being transparent with this color blue, try this color cyan right here. And I think that'll increase some harmony there. Yeah, other than that, those are my only recommendations. I think it's actually really done a fabulous job here. So good work. And if you have any questions at all, or if you want to run some adjustments and resubmit, that's fantastic. I'll be glad to provide further comments. So whatever you want, or if you continue working after this forum is closed, just go ahead and put it in the general questions area in the class. I'll be sure to see it there and provide additional comments therein. All right, fantastic job. Thanks so much for sharing.